Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Pieces of Impact podcast. My name is Steve Seeger, and I'm the host here. And we like to document conversations with impactful people in business, fitness, fishing, and sports, among other things. My guests today are in the fishing realm, Mr. Dylan Wier and Blaine Kinney. Both of you guys, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I think this will be a really neat interview. I was really looking forward to talking with you both. I've watched plenty of your videos on YouTube, listened to you on a few other podcasts as well. But I like to kick things off for my audience just so they can get to know you guys and what we're going to talk about today, giving you the opportunity to walk through your background, your story, how your business got started, and how you guys met.
All the goodies, man. It'll be fun. Yeah. So basically, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. So it's a weird to a lot of people that I moved down to the coast and I do saltwater fishing full time. But I moved down here for college and I got a normal degree and got a normal job. And yeah, just fell in love with the ocean. Always visited as a kid from Kansas City. So I knew when I got the choice to move, this is where I wanted to be. Saltwater was definitely it. So I made it happen.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I grew up in South Alabama, so kind of that freshwater realm and saltwater realm, like that inshore realm, was kind of where I started. And then as I got older and we got a bigger boat as a family, is when I started venturing offshore, and that's kind of where the real love for fishing came in. Doing big game stuff out of there, but definitely always have a passion for any type of fishing, no matter what.
Hmm. And at what point did you two meet and decide to form the business that you guys operate today?
It's actually kind of a funny story. So, the shortest answer is I hired Blaine back in 2021 underneath an old business. So, I started a basically business really similar to this with another guy, and we had to eventually hire guys on, and we hired Blaine like 18, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
18. Yeah.
fresh, new, full of energy, but like just like wanting to get like however he could get into the game, he was getting in the game. And so it was through us. And yeah, we hired him. He worked shark fishing trips from the beach as like an employee and then eventually like a manager. And then eventually when that business dissolved, he kind of stuck with me and now he's part owner of Coast Worldwide, the same as me. So it's been a cool journey. But yeah, started with a hire on.
Started out as a fanboy.
Yeah, he used to watch our old videos. Yeah, it's funny.
Blaine, did you have any experience before you got hired on, or was it all just like,
Shark wise, I had zero experience. But I mean, I had a wealth of knowledge of fishing in general. So I felt like I could apply it to shark fishing. And honestly, once you get the basics down with shark fishing, it's pretty streamlined after that.
Yeah, that's actually how we hire now. Is we don't like we're actually in the hiring process now. So if anyone's watching this and wants a job, come on, we got summertime positions. But we've had 115 applications, I think, as of yesterday, and it is we don't look for shark fishing guys because most of those guys come with bad habits or things they've learned, and there's a specific way to kind of do what we do to give a client a high end experience on the beach, but then also protect the longevity of the sport. So we actually hire kids who have fishing experience and experience staying off their phone and showing up on time. Those two things are hard to teach.
Yeah.
I can teach someone to shark fish, but I can't teach someone to be a good person. So that's actually how we found Blaine was like just good kids and then teach the good kids how to shark fish. So it worked. It works sometimes.
how do you find and evaluate that character for your guys? I mean, like, are there certain questions and stuff that you're asking or background, I guess, references? What are you doing for that?
Yeah, we definitely take references, and call 2 references, we ask for 3, and then after that, we take a look at their socials, and then after those boxes are checked, then we'll do an in-person interview to where we can kinda get a pretty good grasp in about 30 minutes to an hour of sitting down at lunch or something like that on the kinda character that they have.
There's always a little test too.
Yeah.
There's every single step of our interview process or like application process. Like the simplest one out of 115 applicants, we asked them to submit a resume and a cover letter pertaining directly to the job they're applying for. And probably 80% of those 115s don't even attach a resume. So you're immediately gone. If you have no attention to detail, you don't get a reply back. If you attached a cover letter that is pertaining to your job that you're trying to get with your degree, so the cover letter is about this is why I'm so good in software tech. It's like You don't care, like you're just treating this as like some sort of side joke, which to some people it is, but for us, we need guys who like are passionate. About a 115, it gets narrowed down to like 15 very, very fast.
Very quick.
And then when we ask for references, 2 to 3 references is what I always say. So you have the option to go above and beyond. You give me 3. Some guys just give me the bare minimum of 2. That's fine. I don't cut them off at that point, but it's just a note. Okay, he can only find 2 references. We ask some follow-up questions when they finally give us our references, about like replying on time, like what's your favorite cereal? So there's like little tests, like it's just like how much can you pay attention to detail? Because this game is all about detail, showing up on time, and you can tell really quickly through little tests like that who like really cares. Blaine, we actually found his application the other day.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty funny
It's
though.
pretty bad.
He's just like passionate, and he sent like a follow-up email like a week later or like 10 days, and I was like, dude, this kid like won't leave me alone. We actually had a kid the other day that applied, and then he sent a follow-up email. And I was like, hey, we need some references. We're looking through a lot of emails. And then he called actually the office and was like, hey, no pressure. I'm just checking in. Like, I'm local. I really want the position, like anything I can do, let me know. If I mess something up, let me know. And I was like, all right, above and beyond. You know what I mean? Like, I need kids who like need to be here. I don't need kids who want to be here. So
Yeah.
that's just, I love the hire on process. It's super fun.
Yeah. It's amazing how it's just the little things that go the longest way too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what you post on social media, dude, I can't tell you how many kids have been X'd so hard from like, dude, application, nice. Resume, nice. Cover letter, nice. Really well spoken, sick. References, nice. And then it's like,
Throwing
look up your Instagram, yeah, and it's like, okay. All right, I don't think I'm going to give you guys my high-end clientele. I don't think it's going to happen. So,
well, walk me through what the business looks like today. You guys are obviously very active on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I want my audience to understand what I think is a really amazing platform that you guys have built. I'll give you guys the floor to share what you're doing today with that.
yeah, I think social media has kind of always been our main focus. When we started this business slash was able to like restructure the problems that we had with the old one, things that didn't work well. It was basically like social media isn't going anywhere. So not that I ever anticipate shark fishing to go somewhere. It could. Shark fishing could be banned at some point. You've got to like when you set things up like this, we basically prepare for the worst and then maximize what we have. So even like our business agreement, dude, if you read our partnership agreement, you'd think we were about to just like screw each other over. I mean, it's got all kinds of clauses to protect each other, obviously learning that from the old business stuff too, but it's the same way. So when we looked at our business strategy and what we wanted to do and our avenues of revenue, shark fishing was a very immediate, we know this, we have a box of clientele, we know we can make a lot of money off this, but what happens when the 200 trips a year disappears? And basically when we set up the business, the thing was, how can we make sure we never have to go get jobs again? Like, that's like, how can I not go back to like moving furniture or like Blaine digging holes again? So we weren't willing to just let shark fishing be the only side of income and then willing to let ourselves get screwed over in 10, 20, 30 years, whatever it is. So social media was very apparent. It's never going to go anywhere. If we can show people that we can do more than just shark fishing, we become more of an all-around fisherman. That opens doors to brand deals, sponsorships, connecting with a lot of people, worldwide travel, which is obviously the goal and part of the name of the brand. And so, yeah, we're basically just trying to dive into how can we leverage social media influence to get the things that we want out of being full-time fishermen.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people should really use social media in that way. Everyone, I think, is really focused on like likes, follows, and then enough followers, you can get a brand deal, and enough brand deals, you can get paid, and like, it's like this, you're chasing metrics, which we use metrics every week. But if you chase metrics too long, especially on social media, and if those metrics are likes and follows and shares and things that make you feel like you're not relevant or relevant, you're going to start to just like, I see people crash all the time because they think their podcasts aren't getting enough views, or they think their, Instagram post, I post every day and I only get 10 likes,
Or the clout gets to their heads and
Yeah.
they forget what they started doing it for. And then that's when they fall off super hard.
Yeah. No, I think we say it all the time. We come back from like the weirdest stuff. We'll come back from a local trip. We'll come back from a Mexico trip for 3 days. And like on the plane ride home, on the drive home, dude, when it hits and like we got the video and the SD cards are full of the content we want, our thing is always, dude, if this video gets 0 views, I don't care.
Yeah.
That was sick. That's why we do this. And then that will always translate. Um, we actually were talking with Black Tip H the other day on the phone, and he gave a good thing about the whole iguana thing in South Florida. I don't know if you've seen it like recently or not, but there's the cold in South Florida has like put the iguanas to sleep. So there's a lot of guys there who are having problems with content. Obviously, it's cold. You don't want to go fishing,
Yeah.
for snook and like beat them up and kill them and stuff like that. So a lot of these YouTube guys are not. They're just doing like iguana hunts and they're like fishing channels, and they're doing it just because it's like cloudy right now and it's like working and like it's all that's performing. And Black to Page, obviously big name. We were talking with him and he was just like, look, like that's as an example, like dude, no matter what's performing you got to do like what you love and you got to do with like what you want. So like he's using his social media platform obviously very successfully to go to Jordan and do like deepwater swordfish. And he's got a Fiji trip that's like $100,000 mothership trip planned out. He's doing things that he wants and he's using his social media to make sure he's happy, not letting social media push you to do sleeping iguana
Just what
videos
performs.
just
Yeah.
because it performs. So that's my number one thing to people. It's just like, do what you want and then it will always shine through. But if you let the social media algorithm, oh, well, these guys are doing this, so I need to go make this video, you're going to end up burning out. And that's why most people burn out is that they're chasing the likes and they're chasing the algorithm of what they think will work. We're doing what we do regardless.
Yeah.
If people like it or not, don't care. So
Well, I think that's what attracted me initially to your channel and probably a lot of others is just it's authentic and you can
yeah,
tell how passionate you guys are about what you do. And the attention to detail is one of the things that I take away. And it kind of feels like, I mean, I don't know anyone else on YouTube that operates the way that you guys do because I see every little step that you guys have in your process when you're setting up to lead a trip. I mean, everything down to how many, I think, paddles you guys had out to drop the bait is there's a number for that. And it's cool because you guys have sort of like gamified and systematized what a lot of people look at as a hobby in fishing. But you guys are building a business around this, and people that like in my field, I guess, where we buy real estate communities and we pay attention to every little number, how their waste removal is, how their, I mean, how the concrete looks when you need to replace it. I think it's neat that you guys are doing that with something as cool as fishing. Um, I kind of went on a little bit of a rant there, but I'm curious, what does success look like 10 years from now to you guys? I mean, what is the
oh my
long
gosh.
term outlook for your brand?
Yeah. I think at some point it's inevitable that we'll have to hand off the shark fishing as long as shark fishing is still around and we're able to do it. We'll have to hand that off to somebody else while keeping it in the business, obviously, but hire a manager for that side. So Dylan and I can progressively focus more and more and more on content, get a cameraman full time and everything like
An
that.
editor.
Yeah, an
An
editor
editor.
for sure. Um, but honestly, just progressing the social media further and further, and then while also keeping the same shark revenue in our back pocket as well.
Yeah. You gotta create. Yeah, I mean, hopefully in 10 years, we also have. I mean, we've done a good job now of creating about 5 different avenues of revenue flow.
Yeah,
So if we could double that in 10 years, I think it would be fine, because we stretch ourselves thin very often trying to do like the future goals thing, and every year has to grow, and every year should come with a new thing. But the revenue streams obviously is a big important like part in anybody's business, right? It's like you can't just rely on one thing because if that one thing cuts off or slows down for a bit, you're now starving and trying to not to drown. So when we increase our revenue streams, we try to make sure the revenue streams that we have before we leave them are like actually like functioning. So in 2023, when we started, shark fishing revenue, zero social media revenue, and that was it. So like one stream. So we knew we wanted to like make social media a money maker. We knew we wanted to do brand deals to make money. So we'd have 3 streams of revenue fairly early, but we couldn't chase social media and brand deals so hard that the shark fishing went down. So then we have 3 really broken streams, like really
yeah,
poor unfishable streams of revenue. So it's like the shark fishing only grew. So this is not a stream anymore of revenue. It's a flowing river, really wide of revenue. And it can flow as long as it flows until the state cuts it off. That's going to flow heavy. social media revenue is always going to increase as long as you're intentional. The brand deals have started to increase and become less of a stream, more of a river as well. And so when we do the fourth thing, we got to make sure, like, I don't want 10 if I can't have 5 that are flowing really well. So
Yeah.
that's something we've kind of caught ourselves a couple times because we do apparel on the website, which is one. So like our website
Mhm.
sales, we now do drop shipping. And so I think 3 months ago, we had a conversation, we had a meeting where it was basically just like, I felt like I was doing 17 different things, including like wiping the toilets. And like Blaine feels like he's doing 17 things, including like wiping the toilets. And it's like, hey, why do we feel like we're just like stretched thin? There's only 2 of us. Like,
Bring it back in.
chop. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
we were talking about, dude, we got our captain's license to do dolphin cruises and maybe start doing offshore fishing trips and boats and this and that. And then it was like, whoa. If we focus too much on all this stuff, we're going to lose what's already working. And then we're really going to hate ourselves in 10 years when it's like,
Yeah.
man, if we'd have just stuck with these 5 things and really made them flow. So, yeah, I don't know. 10 years is a long
Granted,
time.
we could have been making the same amount of money, but
Yeah.
would have taken years off our lives trying to do everything at once.
Yeah. And I think hiring is a big thing. So we have that problem for sure. I think a lot of people do. We need to get over it.
Yeah. Finding the right people is always one of the hardest
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
It's cool that you guys have identified that it's just focus on a couple of things, get really good, build that foundation in what you know and what you excel at. So I think that's neat. What platform, social media wise, is your favorite?
Oh, favorite?
Yeah.
Favorite's definitely YouTube, man. Like hands down. There is nothing like we're about to, hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well. We're going to leave Monday and Tuesday. So we're going to take our little 22-foot boat, 100 miles offshore again, single engine 225, go out, chase giant yellowfin tuna in the evening, stay overnight, wake up in the morning, chase giant yellowfin tuna again, hopefully come back with a 200-pound plus yellowfin tuna in a little boat. And if we're coming back, and dude, we've got, not excited about making some Facebook video. I'm not excited about the pictures. I'm excited about sitting down for 4 days and I'm going to like make this storyline that's like cinematic and like captivating to the audience and something that someone can feel like by the end of 30 minutes they were like almost right there with us.
Mhm.
And then that's what gets me excited. 4 days done, I got the video done. Now what I hate about YouTube is when I get the video done, it's exporting. Now I gotta make the stupid title and I gotta make the stupid thumbnail and I gotta make sure that people are like it's clickable, but then and I package the title. I hate that stuff, but there's nothing like doing all that stuff, posting it, it goes live. If it gets 500 views, I don't care. But if one person comments and is like, dude, I felt like I was there with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, that's sick because I don't want to run charters. I just don't like the boat charter side, at least right now. But if we can bring people along and we can add value, whether it's entertainment value or like informational value to people's lives through our content, and it like works, not only is it like rewarding for us to be able to help people through like virtually help people, I think that's still incredible that we get to live in a time where you can like be so impactful with never shaking someone's hand is sick. And then two, to be able a 2-man team on a 22-foot single engine boat, not only catching 200-pound yellowfin tuna, which is like right now this bite that we're about to try and go on is like peak stuff, but like also full time like filming, like capture the whole
Mhm.
thing as if we have a full camera crew while also doing the fishing, the gaffing, the cleaning, the putting on the deck. If we can make all the stuff come together, which we've gotten pretty efficient at, we used to suck really bad at it. That's like definitely favorite. YouTube, hands down, not even close. There's not another platform that even touches full form content. It's not dying. It's just everyone's going to the short stuff.
Yeah.
And we do it because we got to. That's about it.
The attention spans are just shrinking and shrinking.
Yeah, dude. It's goofy too, because then we'll take that video and we'll make a 20-second cut, right? Of like Blaine hooking up,
Mhm.
catching it, gaffing the tuna, putting it in the boat, and then someone's like, "How are you not going to tell me what rod you're using?" And it's like, it's only if only we made a full video about all this stuff. Why? What line? How this video has no information, And it's like, man,
Or it's even
because that's
crazier
where the
that
stuff is. Yeah,
sometimes I feel like it's the platform too. Like a lot of people,
yeah,
even if we post a full form video on Facebook, people are more inclined to watch the entire video in a vertical format with just a little bit of the screen showing
yeah,
than they are to physically get off of Facebook from scrolling reels and then go to YouTube and watch the full frame video sideways on their phone.
yeah,
It's wild.
yeah. We post our 20-minute videos on Facebook too in the Reels format, and they perform like really good, really, really good. Like we might get on the tuna video. for example, we'll get like 5 million views on the 20-minute video on Facebook. So like 5 million views, and then we'll get 2,000 views on YouTube. Same video,
Yeah.
just one's vertical and one's horizontal. It's crazy.
And
So it is what it is. Yeah. I'm not
Facebook
crying.
Facebook's the most profitable of the ones that you have, right?
For
Yeah,
us right now.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh. That like yearly recap video you guys just did going over each one, I thought was pretty neat. Um,
Yeah, I really wish. I think the revenue for Facebook for the year didn't load.
Mm-mm.
I think we could get 90 days or something, which kind of sucked because I was kind of curious too. I mean, I guess we just sat down with the tax guy, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Facebook is like worlds over YouTube. I think YouTube's more of a long game. So like, if you guys are familiar with like a Ryan Morey or like Victor with Landshark, those guys are doing really consistent views. So like right now we're performing pretty well on YouTube for our channel, like 100,000 views for the month. So 100,000 long form views pays like $950, $900 or so. So then if you take that and like, you're thinking 100,000 views is not from the 4 videos you posted this month. That's obviously a lot of residual. So our channel is only 2 years old, 3 years old now.
Mm.
So Vic's, a 10-year-old channel, he might get 100,000 views every 2 days. So he might just off residuals. Like sometimes we've talked to Ryan Morey where he says he can sit on his hand for a month if he can't get good content, and he'll still make really good money because all those videos are still performing in the background. So
Yeah.
if we have a 10-year-old channel and we're doing, 100,000 views every day, then you're doing $900 a day. And that's not that crazy to think about, especially for guys like Black Debates who probably do 100,000 views every hour.
Yeah.
Obviously, the volume comes with a lower CPM pay per
Mhm.
view. It can, and YouTube's going to be there. YouTube is the game, which is
Yeah.
why we
It's
like it.
crazy the different roles that each platform has. Like obviously, like we've said, Facebook is our
For
biggest
sure.
moneymaker right now. YouTube is the long game, and then Instagram is just grab as much attention in the shortest amount of time as possible. But that's also like the biggest networking app out there, like between different companies and everything like that, which is the craziest thing ever. Is
Yeah.
that like different people, different content creators all flock to Instagram to make network connections, not Facebook, and then obviously not YouTube, but that's where we found most of our connections coming from.
Yeah, it's user friendly for sure.
Yeah.
Like the Instagram DMs and connections, and it's like more transparent, and it's like young kids. So like most people don't even like using Facebook if you're above 30 or
Yeah.
40. But yeah, that's how so if someone's watching right now and wants to get into the social media game, the best thing we used to do is we used to treat them all the same. So like YouTube is long form, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok all get the same reels. So like we used to just take the long form video, make it, chop it up into 60-second cuts, each fish or each tip or whatever, and then take those same things and blast them all over the walls on all those platforms as if they're the same platform, and then just see what sticks, and then be like, I can't believe we're not growing. That's crazy. Each platform needs to be treated as its own thing based on how it's performing, which obviously will take some time. But for us, for example, YouTube, cinematic, kind of draw it up. I try not to be too long winded on YouTube while keeping engagement, while also, making sure people
Yeah.
are entertained and getting value. So you do that. And then Facebook is basically our biggest platform, biggest moneymaker. And those videos need to be chopped up. Like Blaine just finished a tuna trip with his buddy. And so those clips are basically going to be that he lost like 4 tuna in this past video. So there's going to be clips of basically all that performs best on Facebook is reels screaming with no fish at the end. I know it sounds really bad, but we rage bait people on Facebook because if we post a reel that's 60 seconds and it's all this like good, you hook a fish, you land the fish, you're happy. People are like, who cares? I can't get mad at this. I'm not a happy person, like most of them are older people or whatever. So like, but if you post a reel blowing up and then Blaine losing it to sharks, I mean, how do you think Blaine feels when he goes 100 miles offshore, spends all day, loses a tuna? He's like the most upset. But you would think going to the comment section of that video that these people like literally lost parts of their lives, like years off their lives that we took from them or whatever. And our Facebook is just based off of, unfortunately, like rage, just people crash out, old boomers just crash out on our Facebook all the time. So those videos post the best. So all those cuts get put together on Facebook, and we'll post some still, obviously like we'll just keep up with like the catching the fish, or we'll do a whole trip synopsis video too. But then Instagram, you kind of got to take it seriously because it is like, it's not something that you can just blast on because it won't work, because the kids are obviously way more technologically advanced. You can't like rage bait kids or whatever. So they're like more in tune with like the thing, and they're also interested. So on Instagram, I'm going to post one reel about that whole entire video. He loses 4 fish Jumbos, giant tuna, loses all of them to sharks. And so it's basically just going to be a voiceover video where we took a 22-foot boat 100 miles offshore the other day. We hooked 4 giant yellowfin tuna after spending, 4 hours in the boat, riding to this place, and we lost them all to sharks. Boom, like, oh my gosh. And then we're going to show the things and overlay some pictures. And then it's just basically going to be about that. And the kids are just going to be like, sharks suck, kill more sharks. We got a shark problem in the Gulf. And then that's how you need to engage that audience on our Instagram based off of what works. And then I haven't figured out TikTok. I'm not a big TikTok person, but that just gets stuck right now. But Instagram, we get a lot of, like, we'll get DMs about that video and people are just like, yeah, man, like we went the other day and we lost 5 tuna to sharks too, or we lost 3 tuna. And like, it's so frustrating. And then you get to like do a behind the scenes thing and people relate to that video. Whereas if I just posted a bunch of like, the same thing on Facebook, you just lose credibility with those people, and then it wouldn't translate well. So definitely take each platform and treat them like their own like little niche, which is what they are, obviously.
Yeah.
And there's different demographics on them for sure, age wise. So.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys had to build up kind of calluses to some of those boomers coming after you on Facebook? The comments got to be rough then.
No, honestly, it's pretty hysterical. I don't think I've ever really taken major offense to any of them. Maybe it got a little under my skin in the beginning, but for the most part, I mean, that's kind of why we're posting it. So honestly, it makes me giggle because they're giving me views, So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as far as that stuff goes, we actually get a lot of questions about like, how does this stuff not drive you crazy? Or people will get that on their pages and they're just kind of like, engaging really heavy with them. Like, we'll engage on our Facebook to continue the engagement, to continue the engagement, to continue the view. Like it's a whole thing. And also you can gain a ton of really good fans by like responding to comments in a very eloquent, way. So you can gain a lot of people. Well, like, I'm sorry you feel this way about shark fishing, man, but if you like kind of use your common sense a little bit, we can understand that this is how we help sharks. And then people are like, whoa, I see those guys are like, not dumb. They're like, know what they're talking about. Like, boom, now I'm a big fan of these guys, but based on how they treat their comment section, And, but yeah, the under the skin thing, I mean, I grew up with thick skin. I grew up kind of like rough and tough. So like none of that stuff really bothers me, but also like my biggest advice to guys who get like upset about their comment sections is basically just like, you don't know that person. So their opinion holds no value. Now it will hurt my feelings if Jeremy Wade goes through all of our videos and is just like, dude, you're such an idiot, because he holds weight. You know what I mean? Like, I care what that guy thinks. For example, Josh Jorgensen, if Black Tip H is going through our things, just like, dude, I think you guys' content sucks. Like, you guys are horrible fishermen. Like, I may just be like, well, he's crashing out, whatever, screw you, Josh. But I like, when I lay down in bed, I'll be like, kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. I'm being honest with you, because I value that person's opinion. So like, when Samuel S is on Facebook saying you guys are morons, like, who's that guy? I don't know. Like, I don't know his, maybe I should hold his, weight to his opinion, but I don't know him. So I don't hold any weight to his opinion. So like, who cares what they think? So if Blaine tells me I'm an idiot, also screw that guy, I'm just kidding. No, so you got to know who, like, what holds weight and what doesn't. And if everyone that speaks to you has the same amount of like influence on what you think and feel, life is going to be very rough. So definitely practice. Literally don't care what you think, because I just don't know who you are.
Yeah. It's cool that you guys are looking at YouTube with that long-term sort of outlook. Like how you said, Ryan and Victor kind of have the snowball is rolling. There's like that compounding effect, I guess, to it.
Baby.
Yeah. So that's going to be a neat spot to hit, I guess, when you guys get there. When does that typically happen? I mean, do you have like a number of subscribers that you want to hit that you'll feel like you're there, or viewers?
I don't know. That's a tough one to say. I mean, subscribers don't really, like, obviously, subs don't matter. Views matter. Like, you get paid via views, not subscribers. But also, like, obviously, it's tough to say because I have a hard time. Like we said, like, we have metric goals, but it doesn't make or break. Like right now we're at 20,000, or like we're really close to 20,000, but I think we've been at 19,000, like almost, or 18,000, like all of last year. Like maybe the whole year last year we gained like 2,000 subscribers total, and we gain about 300 a month, 350. So if you do simple math, like 350 times 12 times 40, like in 40 years at this growth that we're at right now, we'll like never make it to like 500K, which is like a big goal of ours. So like, It's tough because, like, yes, it's like right now, technically, we're highly underperforming with where we want to be. There is a giant snowball effect. It does come with like things going viral. And it's also tough to measure because if you look at a lot of guys who have like 500,000 subscribers, like I think Victor, for example, is a good example. Like he posts a lot of shorts. So, like, you can post like on an old channel, I think in 2023, we had it up for 6 months, YouTube, and all of our shorts were getting like 1 to 10 million views. So we were gaining like 7,000 subscribers a week. Like it was insane. So in 3 months, we had a channel go from 0 subscribers to 65,000 subscribers. And every short would blow up. I could literally just like video being like drinking a cup of coffee, put it down and be like 6 million views. Like I don't know why, but it was just like blown up. But every long form video we posted, like before we started the podcast, you were talking about the Cape San Blas video, the 4 days. We posted that video. It got 288 views like total. Every long form video we could catch a world record like iguana. It doesn't even matter. It like wouldn't perform. So I did some research and it's, YouTube splits your channel in half, and like if you're a shorts channel, your shorts channel. If you're a long form channel, your long form channel. So we ended up just cutting the 65,000 subscriber channel, completely restarted all over again back at zero. And we started posting those same videos again, just took them from the channel, deleted them, put them back into the channel. And like immediately, Cape San Blas video, 4,000 views. Next video, 5,000 views. Next video, 2,000 views. And it was like, dang, that sucks. It felt good. Don't get me wrong. It felt good to be like, hey, bro, we're crushing over here. 5,000 subscribers, man. You see, hey, it's Coast Worldwide. We're going up. And then, but like really in the background, when we're looking at the numbers, 15 million views on a short made you like $65. So it's like not even revenue heavy. A lot of those channels do post shorts, and that's where probably a good majority, like 50, 60, 70% of those subscribers come from. So you just got to like understand what your goals are. And I'm not willing to have 100,000 subscribers just to have a silver plaque sitting behind us in the podcast room when I'm really still doing 100,000 views a month on long form, still making 950 a month. I would rather have 20,000 subscribers, 100,000 views, no shorts, because you don't make money off of them and they only incorrectly influence your channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a tough one. The YouTube stuff is like, it's tricky. And when you get into it, it feels overwhelming. So that's why we try to help a lot of people too. So if anybody's watching the podcast and has social media questions, I'm not a social media guru. I'm not an expert by any means, but I do have a lot of really painful learning lessons. And I will always, 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 always answer your guys' messages in the time frame that I can and give everybody help, especially on social media, because I don't want you to go through the stuff that we did, because we went through some really stupid learning curves that would have just like hey, don't post shorts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Saved me 3 months and a bunch of like headache. I was like literally shaking the day we like decided to start the new channel. I was like, is this stupid? Is this dumb? Is this stupid? So try to fast track people definitely should help.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that brand partnerships start to come into play when you start to build that platform. What was the first sponsor that you guys had, and when was it?
I think
Tightline, baby.
Tightline Braid, yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Came stock. It came
Yeah.
came with us. But yeah.
Yeah,
Tightline.
I mean, yeah, Tightline, Jeff Nugent over in Texas, Tightline Braid. We were down for a year and a half in between the last business and this business, and he was the one that really rocked it out with us. Even when we were down, he was getting stuff that we needed, just personally. He was sending us line or whatever we needed in the mail and everything like that. And then it was obviously a no-brainer to whenever we started to keep him on. And even now to this day, Jeff doesn't pay us any money monthly or anything like that. He's not a paid sponsor, but he's supported us for so long. He makes a phenomenal product. Um, and we definitely value his friendship and partnership for sure.
He believed in us, dude. It was a big deal. Yeah. I probably will never ask Jeff for money the rest of my life,
No.
because yeah, that was a big deal. Yeah. It was Tightline Braid, American made braid. You'd be surprised. We could do a whole 2-hour podcast on braid, just in case you wondered. It's crazy when you learn about that stuff. It's wild. The truth.
Yeah. When you guys come back on a year or two from now, we'll do that. We'll talk about
Coach Worldwide talks about fishing line.
that's going to get all the views. That's
yeah, that would, millions of people would flock to that one for sure. That's funny.
Now, when you're having these conversations with new potential partners, I think one of the things I heard you guys say when I was prepping for this was we never partner with someone that we don't use their product and believe in it. What are those conversations like when you are first introduced to someone, and kind of just what's behind the scenes as you set up those partnerships?
It's actually pretty, that's actually part of the thing where we're talking about getting stretched thin, like just in the niche of like sponsorships and promotional staff like deals. That was getting to a place last year where it was like everyone's asking of all this stuff and we got to start kind of chopping down on things and making sure like I don't know, we get that question all the time from our buddies and like people who follow us that are trying to get into the game of like how do you handle that? And I'll just be honest, like right off the bat, like you got to understand that like dealing with businesses and doing the brand deal things is a whole business inside of itself.
Yeah.
Like I can't name names, but we know some people who have like $600,000 contracts with one company for the year. Like that's insane. That's not including all their like the stuff that they're going to kick back on them. So there is so much money in this. Like you could retire just on the money you can make off of brand deals. So you've got to be aware and you've got to be very intentional because just as much as you can make 600 grand over here and that's your goal, you can ruin your reputation in year one, week one, if you choose to handle yourself in a way that's not even like mean. Like you could be the nice guy in the world, but if you're not aware of what this stuff takes or what to do with them. So the first thing I tell everybody is understand what the things need. Sponsor and pro staff. It's like everyone gets it confused. Pro staff is not a professional staff. It is a promotional staff. So you are staffed by that company in a non-paid way to promote their business. So you are staffed by that company for promotion. So for example, there's only two companies that we are full sponsor with right now. It is JYG and it is Okuma. So they are on a monthly retainers with deliverables for a revenue source. So they've agreed basically for 2026, this is what we're going to pay you. This is when the payments come. This is our deliverables. This is what we're willing to give you for a gear allotment. This is the discount afterwards. Like that's what those contracts looks like. That is sponsorship. Sponsorship is hard. Sponsorship is not fun in the beginnings because we're not getting 600 grand off of the Okuma deal. So it isn't, I wouldn't say it's not worth it. It's just like we do all this part of the business. And then part of the business is making sure that when someone gives you a check every month, you've got to make sure you deliver. So I have to sit down in this office and give them what they needed and give them what we promised to do.
Yeah.
So everyone wants a sponsorship until it gets a sponsorship. So just be like aware of that. Promotional staff sounds bad, like, or sounds worse to people because everyone like looks at the sponsorship and thinks money. I want money. I want money. But we leave a lot of companies in the pro staff deal that want to go to the sponsorship side with us because we don't have the manpower or not willing to dilute our channel's integrity to just continue like a sales pitch every single video for 17 brands. I have to do it with some of the sponsorship stuff. Like you said earlier, it is stuff that we believe in. So it becomes off like the JYG stuff. Love George. That company is insane. So it makes so much sense for us to be like, I can organically plug that company and know that I'm never going to push someone to a bad place or a bad product. Joe Kuma is the same way. We literally designed some of their shark fishing reels, the stuff we believe in. There's world record yellowfin tuna on their small reels, like whatever. So like BKK, for example, perfect example. That's a company that has a huge market, a huge budget, works with a lot of big name influencers. We're not even close to like top of their pro staff list, but they're a promotional staff and that works so perfectly. We get a gear allotment. It comes with deliverables. It's a small deliverables list. And we can coexist really well. We can do some brand collaborations. Tightline Braid is basically promotional staff. Like deckhand sports bags, like some of the bags and stuff like that. So we created this stuff, and then there's also just like Deerfield Welding and Fabrication for the shark stuff. He doesn't pay us, but we get to design a lot of products because he's an aluminum guy, so we can make all the shark fishing stuff. So that's like way better than pay is like me getting to design my own fighting blade. Way better. Like I want that way more than like, I get to design my own shark fishing sand spike. That's really cool. So pick carefully. And when you say you're gonna do something, mean it. So I can't tell you how many conversations we've had with companies where it's basically like, I love your product. I want to have some sort of relationship, but like if Garmin Marine talked to us next week and they wanted to give us $20,000 of the stuff and they were going to put us on a $40,000 retainer for the year and break that into monthly payments. And then they they're going to have a team. So they're going to have that deliverable list is going to be like, boom, it's going to be a paperweight. And I might just have to go, guys, I would love a discount. But, take the pay away, give us just a 50% off. We'll pay for it. because you got to understand so many guys I see that take themselves, sign up for like this huge laundry list, don't deliver. And that is the worst thing in the world you can do. Better than just not taking the deals, because if you don't deliver, not only do you like ruin your contract, you could have some legal problems. Most of the time you probably won't. But then those companies are just kind of like, Coast Worldwide, you guys don't really follow through on what they say. And then if you think that guy that works in marketing doesn't talk to the next company guy that works in marketing, then the next time you go to Simrad, or you go to a boat company, or you go to a braid company, they're like, those guys are good. I mean, Blaine and Dylan, love those guys, but like, we did a deal with them last year and they just didn't. We paid him 40 grand, dude, and they never sent us anything. They never really, the content they sent us was always rushed. And I could tell they were just checking a box.
Yeah.
Done, dude. Done. Zilts, nada. So it's better literally to do nothing than to sign yourself up for stuff you can't deliver on.
Yeah.
So it's slippery slope. Be careful.
The pro staff is dangerous in itself. I mean, we see tons of guys that just sign up with a company because they're like, free gear. I get free gear.
Oh.
And they don't care about the product whatsoever. And they get that free gear in and they hate it. So within 6 months, they've already dropped that company again. And then they'll go to the rival, get like the same thing, basically.
And tell you each time that they're
because it was
great.
free, and then continuously ruin their reputation with their audience, balancing between product and product, saying, oh, this one's so great, and then really it sucks. And then like, oh, this one's so great, and then really it sucks. And then that just snowballs and snowballs. And then whenever they do find that product that they do really love, I mean, it's the classic boy cries wolf story. Like,
It's over.
no one believes them anymore. So
Yeah.
their influence on that product now has diminished, and they won't even reach the sponsorship level because they treated their pro staff level so poorly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you got to take it seriously when you're telling people to buy stuff. For us, we can get gear at a discount. We can get gear for free. But I mean, it's a pretty heavy thing to, like, in our video, to ask somebody to go buy some JYG swims or buy a $300 popping rod, because dude, that guy who's going to buy the popping rod, you've got to understand, one, that guy might have one weekend a month to go fishing.
Yeah.
Between weather, between family availability, between whatever. And then this guy is also, who knows how much he's making every week or every month. I know what it means to be like working a poor job and not make a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So he's going to spend $300 out of his hard-earned money that he's going Monday through Friday, and then that product sucks, and then he wasted, and then he goes out for the one weekend a week, or like the month he can, and then he breaks your product, or dude, that's some stuff to throw hands over, dude. I mean, I would be mad. I would be upset. Wasted my money that I worked my time for. So I traded my time for money, and then I traded that money that I worked for to buy your product because I trusted you. Then I took even more time to go fishing. You ruined the one weekend a month I get to fish. Like, you got to think about like the snowball effect of how to take care of people. So you got to take care of your audience, because at the end of the day, if we had no brand deals whatsoever, it would be perfect, because if we can grow like an audience that is a genuine audience, you're gonna succeed. So you don't need brand deals for sure.
Yeah. And I do think that's something, like, non arrogantly at all. I do think that's something that we've done very well, because each company that we're either pro staffed with or actually sponsored by, we were using their products well before we approached them or they approached us. I mean, JYG, we were using their jigs from the beginning.
Dude, we had to kind of crawl into that
Swim
company.
even existed, and while when we finally got pro staff with them and sponsored with them, we were able to help them develop a lot of things that we also believe in. BKK, we spent absurd amounts of money on BKK hooks.
Not even funny.
Before we were ever pro staffed. So I do think we've done a good job of really finding the things we love and then being able to approach those companies after we've already thoroughly tested the product.
Yeah. Go after the companies. That's the best one I can tell. If a company comes to you, maybe. But like the whole Honda thing, I don't know if you know like much about the outboards, but like Honda's like a big deal right now because they finally took their car money, I think, and they put it into the outboard thing, and their marketing dollars are just going crazy. So everyone's getting new Hondas right now. Just like 4 years ago, everyone's getting new Suzukis, and then 7 years ago, everyone's getting new Mercurys because they're putting marketing dollars out there. Dude, when we get this flats boat, I want a Yamaha. Like, I want a Yamaha on the back of my boat. What are you talking about? If we have to change the C Pro, like that thing, that's the best motor. I don't care what you say. Yes, maybe will I use a Honda? Sure. Will I tell you that the fuel efficiency is great? Sure, if it is. But like the best motor out there is a Yamaha. Like that's.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. We're I'm trying to talk to Garmin right now because that's what we've used since day one. It's what I love. I love their like trolling motors and how they interact. So like we're chasing down companies that already use, saying like please, please, please. And that's how like JYG started. Was I was like, hey, 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 and I think they were literally like, dude, get these kids out of here, bro. Like, why are they bothering us all the
Now,
time?
a lot of people did take a fairly big risk with receiving Hondas at a discount and then promoting them really early. But honestly,
Paid off, yeah.
the motors are good.
The
They're
motors
good
are insane,
motors.
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that they're quite Yamaha level, but from all the experience that we know from the Venice captains and even George, the owner of JYG, has the Hondas on his Freeman. Um, they are phenomenal motors. So a lot of guys did take kind of a dive on that, and it ended up not biting them in the butt.
Longevity speaks, man, for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, you guys do a really good job at the authenticity, and I mean, Blaine, to your point, like having someone try to sell me on one company and then 6 months later they're trying to sell the competitor over here. It's like people sniff that out pretty quickly. I mean, like to give you guys your flowers, I bought 80 wide from Okuma because of the videos that you guys have put out and how much time and effort you put into designing. I mean, didn't weren't you guys involved in actually designing those reels? Yeah, that's like you don't see that very often, and there's not many creators that are out there doing that, and people pick up on that. I mean, the viewer cares about that, I think. Have you guys watched the Outdoor Boys at all? He's not making videos anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen some stuff where he stopped making videos and kind of why and did like a deep because that's like always a curiosity thing of like, will I ever burn out of this? So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I think he's one of the most popular YouTube channels out there, and I think it's because he's like so like when you watch him, you're like, this guy is authentic, and he doesn't. I mean, he does what he wants to do. He talks about what he believes in. I don't think he ever had any sponsors on his videos or anything, which is mind blowing.
Yeah. Well,
How
dude,
much?
think about how much money that guy's making on videos. Like that's the idea there is like you don't need him. Like he was when in his peak, obviously he got burnt out, but like yeah. I mean, I bet that guy was making at least $1 million a year, if not like significantly more.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Just off
you don't need brand deals, bro. What are you gonna offer me? $2,000? Come on.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean,
Perfect example.
yeah, and I think that it kind of feels like you guys lean into that with your content, and I think it's cool.
Yeah,
So
intention, dude. How would it make you feel if you bought that 80 wide, you got it in, you packed it up, you pop open YouTube, Coast Worldwide new video, and we're like, dude, Avit Reels are the new lot. You'd be
oh,
like, dude, are you serious?
I'd be pissed off. I mean,
I
I
know
would
Chris
get
would
that.
be. I know guys who are trying, like, I know like other YouTube guys who are like, sometimes are friends, like guys we like, but like people watch the videos, especially kids, dude, and they ask for this stuff for Christmas. Like, think about getting a certain brand of sunglasses that were being pushed a couple years ago that we said no to, that were just a lot of marketing dollars into them. Everyone got them. Take away whatever the marketing thing is, however much money you made, because it doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter. Think about this kid who's 12 years old, and he just wanted to be so bad like this YouTube guy. So this YouTube guy gets this deal with this sunglass company, and then he starts posting about him, and the 12-year-old kid makes his like little Christmas ask, and his mom spends $199 or $200 or whatever on this pair of sunglasses. He gets them on, he puts them on, dude. He's going out there fishing. He's like, bro, I'm just like this guy. I can't wait. And then 6 months later, the next sunglass company makes a good deal. Hey, I'm just trying to make some money, like changes the company. Now that kid's, you know what I mean? Like that's what matters. Now that 12-year-old kid is wearing a certain, like a different one and now that like creates like a thing,
Yeah.
it's not influencing the masses. No, it's not the heaviest stuff in the world, but like that, I was that kid, like that matter. You got to take care of like that stuff. What you say matters. And then getting people to like, people will try to be like you and like emulate that. And then if you're
Mhm.
constantly just doing this thing, like I said, like that would hurt your view. You'd be like, dude, what's wrong with you guys? Avid? How much money I just spent on this thing. But
Yeah,
yeah, you gotta be real, man. And that should be the most freeing thing. If you're watching this and you're a content creator or you want to start content, it should be like the biggest weight lifted off your shoulders to know all you have to do. You don't have to be fake. You don't have to be good at editing. You don't have to be this guru of this. If you're going to do fishing YouTube, be good at fishing and be authentic.
That's it. Yeah.
Simplest plan strategy. When brand deals come in, you might have to get some things. Do I want to? Do I not want to? But like at the end of the day, dude, if you can just be yourself and be good at what you're like actually doing, like I'm not gonna start a building channel or like
Hmm.
a construction or like whatever you do with your hands. Like I can't build crap. I can't woodwork. I can't nothing. So I'm not gonna do that. But like that should make you feel so good as like when we start filming on Monday tomorrow or like whenever it is Monday.
Hmm.
Mhm.
If I can just be myself, that's all I have to do. Boom, freedom.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't have to be a certain way in front of the camera.
sorry.
I was just saying you don't have to be a certain way in front of the camera. Like it should make people feel like if you're dude, Blaine was horrible. He used to be horrible. I love public speaking, obviously, so I can speak whatever. Blaine, he used to hate the camera. And then eventually he just got to at some point is like, oh, I don't need to be like a well-spoken individual. Like I can be a goofball.
Yeah.
I can mess up and we put it in the videos and people are like, oh, dude. And then Blaine can even say like on camera sometimes, he's just like, dude, I suck at these audio session things, but and then people are like, yes, bro, me too. I hate speaking to people. And then like, boom, there you go. Like there's your connection and all you have to do is be yourself. So
Yeah.
good stuff.
Well, that example with the mom that goes out and busts her butt to buy the sunglasses, that's meaningful because I mean, like, that's a portion of her life that she's trading through her time to get that for him, and it's like you have a responsibility to do the right thing. And I think it provides a pretty decent segue to my next question, which I think you guys are also intentional about is um, the future of shark fishing and the responsibility that you guys have being in front of so many eyes and showing people how to do it the right way. You don't want to hurt these fish. You want to do it ethically. You've mentioned a couple times earlier that the long-term outlook on shark fishing, it might not even be there. I mean, is that something that you think could happen actually eventually? And like we'll dig in here on your guys' thoughts on shark fishing itself. And I know there's a lot there, but my first question is like, is that possible? Do you think that shark fishing could not exist eventually?
I think we're getting further away from it actually being able to get banned.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of companies that are now starting to monetarily get into the shark market. And honestly, it is a good thing because, I mean, honestly, the more money that gets put into shark fishing via all these big name companies are going to have a problem when people start trying to come to take shark fishing away. So that's definitely a thing. Florida specifically, I think we have one of the worst shark fishing communities.
For sure.
Um,
Supporting each other for
yeah,
sure.
supporting each other, and then there is a lot of bad practice here in Florida because it's great weather all year
It's
long,
so easy too.
especially
Yeah.
in South Florida, the weather being as mild as it is. And then here in the Panhandle, it's it's easier to shark fish now than ever, and everybody can get into it with just a little bit of money. And that's definitely
With the drones.
dangerous
Yeah.
in the wrong hands, and I that's where we want to use our platform to be able to streamline things, and we're working on an on all inclusive like college course basically for shark fishing 101, 101.2, 101.3, all the way to 401. But back to the original question, I think it is getting harder for it to get banned, but it definitely isn't impossible right now.
Yeah. There's little tricky play from some of the guys here. Us and Spencer Wonder, who you're gonna have on. But yeah, there was always a conversation like 5 years ago, like how can we prevent this? Like how like this could happen, especially like 3 years ago, it seemed like doom and gloom, like it might actually happen. Florida luckily passed a couple laws to like protect fishing, like in general. So it like helped us out here. But like how can we a lot of guys were having problems in certain places like North Carolina. They were having bans 3 years ago in certain cities because there was practices that were bad. Like there were shark fishing guys fishing in the middle of swimmers. So like normally it's one event that like triggers this like ban thing. Like Miami, I think just tried to ban it, but you can't ban fishing at public beaches in Florida. So that's like a whole. We won't even get into that. But like one guy is shark fishing around 5,000 people, drops a bait in the middle of
Mhm.
people. Obviously, me and you both understand what fishing is. The danger is not bringing a bull shark in between 5,000 swimmers. It's 200-pound braid wrapping up around a kid's leg at 60 pounds of drag. That's taking the leg off. I shark fish. if I was out at the beach with my kid and I saw that, I would probably punch you in the mouth, like just straight, like that's just stupid. And there should be something done about that. But those events trigger the county to do something about it, and then they get a ban. And so we were seeing a couple of years ago, like ban, Massachusetts, whole state ban, New Jersey, Rhode Island, certain parts. So it's like coming down. And so part of this conversation is how do we do something about it? Like, what do we do? So it's like, do you like activists, like, we're going to put something together, but then it's like really hard to stand up for shark fishing as a whole when there's like a lot of guys who maybe aren't doing it great. So like, how does the world work? Money. So what can we do to we don't have enough money to do stuff about it, but my hope is we made the Shark Series reel with Okuma and it did really well. It crushed. Like they're like out of 80 wides right now. They're doing like their fourth order, which is like over 400 reels gone, like out of just the 80 wide size, crushing. Yeah. So it doesn't, we went after Okuma because we knew they had the internal thrust bearings, and we knew the Makaira reel was the superior reel. If we could tweak it for shark fishing, boom. If they could pay attention to the niche, boom. We're prototyping Shark Series rods right now, boom. That is like a victory of a stream, right? We wanted to make our thing. We wanted to be a part of a thing. We wanted to give back to the community, to give them gear. It also helps on education part. If you can just buy a Shark Series rod and a Shark Series reel, now you're at least using responsible gear. Victory number one, small. What's a big victory? Can we get Shimano? Not directly. Can we get Shimano? Can we get Pure Fishing, who owns Penn, and Abu Garcia? Can we get these guys? Is Penn going to make a Shark Series reel soon? Hopefully. Not for Okuma guys. But if they get into the market, and then Shimano gets in the market, and these guys invest millions of dollars into new CNC machines and all this stuff, new shark rods, they're competing. They see the niche is huge. It's going to blow up when Penn does stuff with it too. And then you're telling me in 2030, they're going to go, no shark fishing worldwide. You think Pure Fishing is not going to go knock on someone's back door and go, hey, here's a check. Shut up. Don't bring up the shark fishing thing anymore. Because you know how much money we make? We make millions of dollars every year just on this niche. Now it's untouchable. That's how the world works, unfortunately, in some cases, but you've got to use that. We didn't think going to all these county commission things and complaining to individuals and 10 people was going to make a big impact difference. How can we get companies that have all the money to invest in this thing? So when someone comes out there shark fishing in 2030 or 2040, it's now untouchable, because that's how the money makes the world go around. So hopefully soon, not for Okuma stock. Okuma wouldn't love it. Okuma wants to be the only people investing in the shark industry, but if I could see more companies get into it, I would not be upset. Because the more people that get into it, the more money that's into it, and then the more untouchable the band conversation becomes. And that's where it was 3 years ago, where the thought process was, where it was like, how can we think one step ahead? So hopefully we can see some stuff like that coming out soon. That'd be cool.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you guys did the deal with Okuma. I like this reel a lot.
Dude, first company. Yeah, I mean, we talked to Okuma, and then we talked to a couple other companies. We did a tour with Avit, and people just weren't, they were unwilling to touch the topic of shark fishing, which is crazy. The California-based company decided to touch shark fishing, whatever. But they did, and they invested in the niche, and it crushed. So I think in the shark fishing, community side, there should be a lot more people supporting Okuma, because Okuma is literally supporting them.
The only real company to ever support shark fishing
directly. Even Shimano, Penn, none of those guys won't even talk about it. I think they're going to eventually, but it started with Okuma. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's silly. Like what Blaine was talking about, where the community is not good here in Florida. There's still guys who are just like, bro, screw those reels, screw those guys. Even if you don't like the Okuma, I'm not saying you have to go buy a Makaira, but you should at least be like, hey, thanks for investing in the niche that I care about.
Yeah.
Enemy number one should be anyone trying to get shark fishing banned through misinformation. That should be enemy number one. If someone's trying to get shark fishing banned through correct information, that's fine. I'm going to listen all day. But there's a lot of misinformation being spread by uneducated people to get shark fishing banned. That's enemy number one. If you shark fish, we're friends. We don't have to agree. We're friends. Same team. If you're a major company corporation that makes millions of dollars every year and you choose to invest in this tiny niche, friends. I like my pins, but we're friends. You know what I mean? You should, that's where the thing gets weird, is but yeah, super thankful for Okuma. That's a big deal.
There's also no reason not to like the Makaira. There's really no reason to be using another reel.
Bro, I don't like you guys, man.
Well, the
That's the
first
reason.
swimmers, if their bet hits, are usually compensated pretty well. So it sounds
Yeah.
like everyone was doing well. You said uh, you talked about drones before, and that's a topic I wanted to touch on, and I'll address it more broadly. Can you guys just give me a couple unwritten rules that exist for land-based shark fishing?
Um, don't fish around swimmers. Like easy number one. If you get to a beach, I don't care if it's your beach, I don't care if it's your favorite spot, I don't care if there's normally no swimmers there. We run 200 trips a year in the middle of June. If we are supposed to start our trip at 6 p.m. and there's kids in the water, we just tell our clients we're going to get a delayed start. If we start at
Yeah.
6:45, we wait till swimmers clear out. We run our baits. The trip now doesn't end at midnight; it ends at midnight 45. Simple. So if we can do it when it's monetary, you can do it when it's recreational.
Yeah.
So don't shark fish around swimmers. Easy cut.
No plastic reels.
Plastic does not have a place in shark
Yeah.
fishing
Unless it's a spinning reel that you are strictly casting.
for black tips.
No plastic reels.
Plastic does not have a place. Plastic plates for the sake of your future kids or wanting the want of your future kids. Don't use plastic fighting plates either. You will rip the middle part of your body. Um, and then really just understand your limitations as an angler, um, or if you're kayaking baits as a kayaker. So like the safety part and the safety part of the sport is just understand like what your gear can do and understand like what your limits are as like as an angler. So like a lot of people, easy number one, don't understand that the reel out of the box doesn't come at the strike settings that are maxed. So like the Makaira can do 85 pounds of drag at strike and 110 pounds at full. When you get out of the box and you spool it up, it's probably at 20 pounds at strike. So like people don't even know what the free spool, like the preset knob is. Like where you go to free spool, you change your preset knob, you set your strike settings. So like then you got people who are like, my reel uses 110 pounds of drag, and then they hook a hammer and fight at 20 pounds of drag. They fight it for 2 hours. The hammer dies. It washes up. Now they're all over the news. It's not really their fault because they didn't know, but it is your responsibility to be educated. So like point number three,
Know your gear.
you have to know your gear and you have to be educated on the sport. Whose responsibility is that to like help you? Our responsibility. So if there's a lot of people out there shark fishing, there should be more readily accurate information. So that's why we're taking the responsibility on ourselves to make the shark fishing course, because you can't just keep. I was an idiot in 2014. Fun fact: I was using a pin 6/0 Senator like everybody else did, but I was an idiot, and it wasn't anybody's. It wasn't my fault because I didn't know any better because there was no information out there. Now there's information everywhere, and it's really hard to tell what's real, what's not real. Just because this guy gets 5,000 likes on Instagram and has 200,000 followers, there's a lot of morons out there with 200,000 followers. So it's hard when there's a lot of information out there. So I think we need to take the time to be, hey, we are very versed, very professional, very educated in this niche.
Yeah.
Here's our course. It doesn't cost money. I'm not doing the course money thing, pay for it. I want to make it free because it's better to give everyone all the information to be responsible with their gear and their practices for my sake too, and for the sake of the sport and for the sake of the individual. So some of that falls like if you go through the whole like you said, like what's the golden rules of shark fishing? If part of it's going to be education, someone's got to be the educator. And if we're going to do this full time, it's our fault that it's not out there yet.
Well, yeah, and if you guys are putting that thought leadership out there, it's only going to drive people back to you. If you're the ones that are taking the lead there, that goes a long way. Um, and you guys talked about starting a trip, making sure everyone's out of the water. I would be curious to hear, what does a typical land-based charter look like for you guys from start to finish? I know you have a lot of systems and processes built in throughout there. Can you guys just take me start to finish, what that looks like?
Our day starts at 2:30 in
You
the
have to go through
afternoon.
this again. Yeah.
And essentially that's just packing up the truck, making sure we've got everything in there: cart, sand spikes, paddle, kayak, reels, rod tops,
Release bucket,
yeah, release
radios,
bucket,
leaders, de-hooker.
everything that you need to shark fish, and then chairs, lights, canopy, things that you need for the clients all get packed into the truck. And then at 3:00 p.m. is when we try to leave the office, start heading to the beach, Walmart stop, food, whatever you want, and then get to the beach around 3:30, 4:00, a couple hours before the start of your trip time. And that's where the war starts. Is you're
Summertime work starts. Yeah.
you're nudging in between people, trying to get access to the beach closest to the water without also blocking a bunch of people's views at that moment, because you're again a couple hours early, set up rod spikes and everything. Don't really put reels out because you don't necessarily want to draw too much attention to yourself yet,
Yeah.
but get general camp set up, get chairs around set up, tables out set up, canopy, everything like that. And then right around 5 o'clock is when we start putting line through the guides of the rods and everything like that, getting leaders attached, getting baits around. Try to, in the summertime, hook one bait, kayak that bait, come back, hook the next bait, so you don't just have fish laying on the beach for anybody to walk up and think you're chumming, or even though that's not what you're doing. People, I wouldn't say ignorant, they're just curious. And they definitely get the wrong connotations at first. And that's why it is important for us to be polite and have people that work for us be polite and welcoming to their curiosity. Because if you're just like, oh, screw off or anything like that, you're definitely going to put shark fishing in a terrible light right off the rip.
Immediately.
But yeah, then, kayak your baits one at a time. Your first rod is typically the furthest up current rod. Just honestly, that's kind of our OCD is just setting the furthest and then the next and then the next. But yeah, we count our paddle strokes, so that's how we get our rough distance. And usually, it's not specifically about yardage; it's just about the distance in between baits because sharks are cruising on lateral lines and they don't really strafe off that line all too much. So you just want those baits, a couple 100 yards or 100 yards apart from each other. So the paddle strokes are really just the differentiation between where each bait is at, not necessarily the exact distance that it's out there. And
Hmm.
then after that, after baits are set, it's a waiting game, and that's kind of what we tell the clients. So we advise them to bring snacks. We're big snackers if we're just sitting around waiting for something, whether it's shark fishing or sword fishing or anything like that. Games for the kids to play. And then usually we do try to take times to hang out with the kids, throw the football with the kids, play soccer with the kids. And that gives mom and dad kind of, even though they're on vacation, they haven't been on full vacation yet. So kind of taking the kids away and letting mom and dad hang out for a couple hours if that's what it takes to get the first bite or anything like that. That's what means everything to the parents is that they get to hang out and relax and not worried about if Jimmy's running a couple 100 yards away, getting in other people's business or anything like that.
Kids are actually having fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then, if the night goes right, we catch a shark or we catch multiple sharks. And then a lot of people get that, forever memory, that screenshot of the shark that they caught in May of 2026 on family vacation. And that was the last time Paul was alive or something like that.
Yeah.
And just creating lifelong memories for clients and their kids and everything like that.
Yeah. We
Kinda went
pack
off on
up
a tangent there. It's really not about the setup or anything like that, but after that, after the trip's over, we walk the clients up to the cars, everything like that, and then tearing down all the gear. Just reverse process. So, our day starts at 2:30 PM and doesn't end roughly until about 2 AM.
on a 6-hour trip.
Yeah.
So about 12 hours. Yeah.
Hmm. And how often are you guys going out and doing these charters, the two of you?
So like for example, March is spring break here. Last year we ran 18 trips in March, and then I think we ran 15 trips in April, and then in the summertime, I actually just kind of junior the day for some random reason, but we ran 28 trips in June. So that's why we hire summertime guys because we just can't run 28 days in June, and then also try to get offshore content when the tuna bite's hot and go grouper jigging and diversify anything. It's just also like we have like the working the night shift, getting home at 2:30, waking up at noon, going back to the office at 2:30 to pack up again. Like it doesn't, it's a constant rotation. So it doesn't work for having like a life and like stuff. So that's why summertime is definitely a time to hire guys on and let them make a ton of money, get a ton of fun experience. And then they get to, do that thing. So, and then we get to be free to go to iCast and, do our videos and stuff like that. But yeah, if you notice, definitely a big one when we were talking about setting up the trips, it starts at 6 PM, and, like, ideally, the trip doesn't start until the baits are out. So, like, you start when you're fishing. So, ideally, when they get there at 6, the baits are out, and you're fishing for a full 6 hours until midnight, and then we pack up. Like, we walk with them to the trucks, make sure they get off fine, and then we come back and pack up. So, you get 6 hours on a 6-hour trip of fishing. The reason that have been so successful with the shark fishing trips from the beach is because of what we can offer that's different from a boat. So everyone else that did beach shark fishing charters when they started were basically They took it as they were offering a lesser experience, so they thought they needed to offer a lesser price. When in reality, we are offering a trip where you can catch 1,000-pound fish, possibly 10-foot plus, with no seasickness, no limit on group size because we're not in a boat. So you can bring the whole family if you want to. If they want to watch, they can watch. If they want to go to the condo, they can go to the condo. And then it is the only fishing trip from the beach that you will get 6 hours of fishing on a 6 hour trip. Not an hour boat ride out, not an hour boat ride back.
It's a superior trip.
If you don't care about meat hauling and you just want memories, this is why we charge $1,200 for a 6 hour trip. You can bring 35 people or Pawpaw, Mima. I mean, I can't even tell you how many people we've had contact us when they come back for their 7th year or 5th year in a row, and they're like, "Hey, you know, Papa Tom's not going to be with us anymore. He actually passed away last year, but I honestly can't tell you guys how much it meant for him to be able to watch his grandkids catch that tiger shark last year." Like that, he talked about that every single week when we went to his house. The picture was on his chair until we sold his house last week. I'm not joking. Like that's real stuff that happens like all the time. So again, just like we were talking about the sponsorship where you're taking care of that kid that's watching the video, like every 28 trips, dude, to me and you, we're real life people. That sounds like it sucks. But if you're running 28 trips, if you're running 17 trips straight on the 17th trip, the 17th night, this is what we teach our guys. This is why we hire good people, not good shark fishermen. That 17th night has to be the best trip you ran all week. Like it has to be the same. Like you can't, you're falling off of sleep. It doesn't matter because and it's easy for me because I was from Kansas City. That's their only night of the year they get to go shark fishing. That might be your 50th trip of the year. It's their first and only. And it might be the first time they ever go shark fishing. And it might be the last if you're a total jerk. So like take care of that, especially if there's kids in the group. They've been looking forward to this. Who knows? Who knows when their parents told them? The parents have been looking forward to it. There's also $1,200 on the line. So that's a big deal. Like we were talking about buying the popping rods. This is hard-earned money these people are spending. And you can't control the sharks. That was how this whole conversation started. How are you going to deliver value regardless of the outcome that you can't control? It's like the hardest thing. And it's how can you add value without sharks? And then when the sharks come, and they come a lot, and we catch a lot of them for sure. But same thing is you can't guarantee shark fishing stay around forever. That's why we set the business up. You can't guarantee a shark to come every single night. So playing with the kids,
Even
delivering value.
a lot of times the shark's the least important part. We've heard stories of, and obviously I won't name names, but of other outfits that have had our clients before, and our clients have talked about their trip with said other outfit, and they were like, "Yeah, we caught 3 bull sharks that night, but honestly, the trip kind of sucked. Like our guides were not nice.
They got high and passed out.
Yeah,
One of them
like
was drunk.
crazy experiences with these other outfits. So we've really come to find out that the sharks really don't matter all that much. It's just how much fun the group as a consensus has.
Yeah,
Mhm.
big deal. Yeah, big deal. And then it's this the weight of like what you're asking someone to do.
Mhm.
It's something we take very, very seriously. And so the hiring process is the hiring process. We get it all the time. People are like, dude, it'd be easier to get a government job than it is to work with you guys. And it's like, exactly, because we take our job very seriously. Yeah, like
Mhm.
it's a big deal what we're doing day in and day out. So can't just grab anybody.
Yeah. And you guys make a really big impact on people. Like you said, that story about grandpa's not with us anymore, but talked about it all the time. That's the kind of stories I like to have on here. So this has been really neat. I want to transition to our rapid fire round here to
Okay.
get you guys on out of here. These will be quicker questions. I try not to follow up on them. I'll
Okay.
have both of you answer each of them. Sometimes I end up asking another follow up, so I'll try not to, but I sometimes
We'll be
break.
quick with it too.
Yeah, we'll try not to ramble.
Well, first question is, I mean, I guess we kind of already talked about this. Let's do, if the 80 wide is not an option, what is your favorite go to all around shark reel?
The 80 standard.
The
The
Okuma,
little brother to the 80 wide.
Yeah.
Okuma LBS 80 standard for sure.
Okay. Okay. And what is your favorite shark to catch?
Um,
Species.
So obviously you can't target sharks, so it's always an accidental run-in when we run into these fish. But my favorite is a tiger shark for sure. Super fun, super easy to handle, easy fights, never risking of killing them, and they're absolutely beautiful and they're easy animals to handle. So they're super sick. You just can't target them in Florida, so they're all accidental catches.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the dusky shark.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
the fight is really exhilarating at times, and then really mild, and then really exhilarating. So you kind of get the best of both worlds on that one. And they're like if a bull shark and a black tip had like a mega baby, and they look super streamlined, super sick.
What okay, what is the least favorite shark to accidentally catch?
Hammers.
Yeah, hammer, easy. Hammerhead. I hope I never catch another hammerhead in my life. They fight super hard. In the summertime when it's warm, they die easy. Clients never get good interactions with them because when we do everything correctly, they come in green, 30-minute fights. They knock the crap out of us on the leader. We have to go meet them chest deep. We have to dehook them in chest deep water so they don't kill themselves. And then we release them as soon as possible. So the clients are like, what just happened? And I'm like, it's a release. It's gone. It was like 12 foot sick. And then I'm like bleeding all over my shins and like, yeah, it sucks. People are like, let's get your hammer. I'm like, I hope we don't.
Yeah, they're the worst.
We've actually never caught a personal hammer. Sorry. I know we're not
I've
supposed
never caught one myself.
and I won't. You can go to South Florida, you can catch them whenever you want. We just don't go down there because it's not a fish that's meant to be caught because they die so easy.
Yeah. Favorite time of the day to fish? If kids in the water was not a issue,
Like just in general, shark fishing or offshore or whatever.
just in general.
With the day. I gotta just like if it was just a sunset
The
overall.
evening bites.
Yeah. Evening bite at the rig, evening bite on the beach.
Yeah.
Sick.
Mhm.
Sunrise
What
is always just as pretty, but I'm
You
a little
didn't get
bit
a lot
more
of sleep.
groggy. Yeah.
what is the least favorite day-to-day activity in your business, both of you?
Tax, QuickBooks, doing balancing, reconciling our accounts. Sorry.
Yeah. Filing sales tax is not fun.
Yeah, use our sales tax.
It is tax season. Are you guys getting on that?
Yeah.
It's done. I already had my meeting. I already got yelled at for what I did with my QuickBooks. I already have a laundry list of stuff to fix.
All right, I'll stop asking questions on it. Favorite fish to eat?
Yellowfin tuna.
Ooh, yeah,
No doubt.
yellowfin. Second favorite yellow edge grouper.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'd have to say the same. Raw yellowfin tuna. I like a seared yellowfin tuna, but raw and like a poke bowl.
Poke bowl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Poke bowl. Yep, I could mess up poke bowl.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Best time of the year to fish?
Fall.
Winter.
You said winter?
Winter.
I said fall. Yeah, I'd say fall probably.
All right.
You're right, dude. What am I thinking? It's February. It's right now. It's the
It's
best time of
right
year.
now.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. I redact my answer.
Yeah, January and February, phenomenal sword fishing, the most insane tuna fishing you've ever seen in your entire life.
And there just happens to be great white sharks off the
fishing,
beach.
Yeah, it's insane this summer. The wintertime's the best time of year.
February is it.
Yes, and actually, I am gonna interject on the rapid fire round to ask about the great white shark. I forgot to. You guys hit 4 in a row.
Yeah.
The last
Yep.
4 years. That's amazing. How did you guys pull that off? I mean, just tell the story for the audience really quick. I forgot to ask about that.
Oh,
earlier.
you're good, man. Yeah, I mean, 48-hour trip in the wintertime. Wintertime's a special time. We get sandbars, duskies, tigers, a lot of bull sharks around, and then, the occasional mako great white can happen. Obviously, we do this full time, so there's like statistically, we're probably the most likely people to run into a great white shark if they do happen to swim through. So that's basically how those happen. And yeah, no, it was incredible, dude. First night, 48-hour trip. Those guys could have booked a 6-hour trip and caught a great white, but they didn't. They booked a 48-hour. They got to see a mako the next morning too, so that was cool. Yeah, no, it was the biggest one I think. We caught in 4 years in a row, and yeah, at this point, it's nice because we know how to handle them. We know what to do. We know how to maximize the opportunity for research. So we were able to get it in, get our tail shots. We work kind of closely now with the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy Group. And yeah, we were just like, catch it, release it, client experience top. That's the database for research. And now we're in the conversation with them to actually get SAT tags next year. So that's super sick too. Yeah, it'd be sick.
Big win. I didn't know about the tails being unique for each of them. That's a cool.
Snowflakes, yeah, dude. We didn't know that either. They taught us that. So
The only reason we know is because we incidentally on the very first
took a
one
tail shot.
we got a tail shot, and
Okay.
the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy reached out and was like, "Oh my gosh, that's like the most perfect picture of a tail." And then they had explained to us that they're snowflakes and everything like that. So we've definitely made sure that we get at least one tail shot for every white shark we get now, so they can put it in their database. It's cool. The clients got to name this one, and
Yeah.
everything like that. We've got to name all the ones previously as well. So that's a pretty cool experience as well.
Have you guys seen any of the previous ones show up somewhere else?
No,
I don't think
usually
so.
it's whenever they come up, it's if white shark Atlantic White Shark Conservancy recaptures them, and then they can get pictures of the tails and everything like that. Or I know they have a series of underwater cameras on like buoys and stuff up there. So if they get one, they would let us know, but they haven't seen one of ours yet.
You have to get that tail shot. So if it's like quartering away and they can't get the flat tail to get all the pattern recognition in the AI system, it's not a match. So it has to be like not even seen. It has to be seen perfectly.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I'm mad I missed that earlier. I was going to ask you guys about the shark first thing, but again, congrats. I'll keep moving with the
I
rapid.
appreciate it, man. You're good.
Um, the top three content creators, authors, podcast hosts, each of you, who are your top three that you let influence how you think?
Who influence how you think is an interesting one because we don't really plug into a lot of YouTube guys anymore. And definitely don't plug into them for influence because I do genuinely think as advice that I give to people is don't use people for inspiration, but don't use people for influence because we don't need another Ryan Mori. We don't need
Create your
another
own
Lane Shark.
online
We don't need
ID.
another Black Debation. We don't need another Coast Worldwide. We need you to be you because you won't be us. You won't be Ryan Mori. Like you just
Yeah.
can't. So it'll seem unauthentic, back to authentic. So
Honestly, I Black Tip H for me is one. I mean, if it weren't for him, almost none of us would be here. I mean, he was the first saltwater guy to exist in the YouTube realm. So whether we're taking his influence or not, he's had a huge influence on saltwater YouTube creation
yeah, he's the
in
reason
general.
we get to
So
be this. Yeah, we
yeah,
get to do this. Number two, you got to go through them rapid fire.
Mark, I I think he's a really genuine guy, and we've met him in ICAST before, and he doesn't put on a fake face. He's the same in person as he is in his videos, and I he has a camera guy, but I just genuinely love to watch his videos.
Third, who's your third? This is a big deal for me right now. It's fire. No,
There's
no thought. Just go for it.
Ryan Morey.
Ah,
Ryan Morey for me, and honestly, it's not like a inspiration or anything like that. He just does a lot of fishing that we also do, so I enjoy watching content like that.
that's funny. Yeah, if you take away the black tip H thing, because I think it's really funny to hear people talk about Josh. By the way, if we're like really quick, because everyone gets mad about like his videos and people who fish like it's not even fishing videos. But then like I always give them an example. If Josh Jorgensen called you on the phone right now and said, "Hey, bro, let's go fish,"
You're going to
You're
say,
going
yes,
fishing.
sir. Yes, sir. Where am I going, sir? Yeah, exactly. So hush your mouth. I'm talking about Josh. I don't watch his videos because they're not made for me, but he has paved the way. So thanks, Josh. Number one for me is probably Ryan Mori, because I did used to use his videos for inspiration back in the day. He did kind of like format that whole like voiceover cinematography intro thing, at least for me. He might have been influenced by somebody else. Super sick. Love Ryan's videos. I actually enjoy watching them. Victor as well. So I do like Vic. We try to talk with him. We bounce a lot of ideas off Ryan too, but Lane Shark stuff. He also hired a cameraman and has the cameraman helping him edit, which is where we want to go. So we kind of talk to Vic and do that. And his video production is really well. And then the last for me, who is not like a giant creator, but like a great guy and like one of those dudes who's like actually fishy is Joe VT. So Joe VT can like actually catch fish and
Yeah.
then he does videos. So he's not like a YouTuber who does some fishing stuff. He's like a fishy guy who like happens to carry a GoPro around. So his videos are not Ryan Moore videos, but they are like that is one of the fishiest dudes
Yeah.
that like walks
They're
this
pretty lights out
green earth.
videos every time.
Yeah, and they're on a GoPro, so like, you know they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
I can definitely see in your videos the education side that you guys bring. I can tell that some of that probably was influenced by what Ryan does and Vic. I like watching
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I used to
Um,
watch Ryan Moore videos to like get myself pumped, like back in 23, just like know how to like make a video. So he definitely influenced like our stuff. And then I did realize I was like, hey, we got to make these different for sure. I
mhm.
want to piggyback, you know?
Last, or I have two more questions. Second last one. When someone watches the videos that you guys put out, rather than teaching them something, what do you hope the feeling that they get is when they watch
That
a
they're
video?
right there.
Yeah.
right there with us
Submersion.
experiencing the same thing that we are. I think there's one video of Dylan losing probably a 200 plus pound tuna at the rigs, and the comment section is filled with, I was on the edge of my seat, I felt like I was there, and that's what we want to portray through the
Yeah, pure
videos.
heartache. When
Yeah.
people see us in person, they bring the video up, they're like, dude, and I'm just like, yeah, like you could feel it, like, you translate the emotion. For me, I think I'm always focused on not wasting people's time. So I want to make sure at the end of the video they feel like they got something out of it, whether it was entertainment or value. Because I always hear people from YouTube talking about like, dude, please subscribe or watch my videos, it's completely free. It's actually the most expensive thing, I say this all the time, but it's actually the most expensive thing that you have in currency, and it's your time. So if you're going to spend 30 minutes an hour watching my videos and I don't like deliver, you should never come back and watch my videos again. And I got to take that time that you're willing to spend with me every week very seriously, and not just throw a bunch of crap or do a bunch of sales pitches or stuff like that. So, yeah, people spend their time with us. I want them to feel value at the end. When the video ends, like, wow, that was worth my time.
Yeah.
Hmm. And this is my last question. I wrap it on
Here we
every
go.
single video. Each of you will answer. What is the single piece of wisdom that has had the greatest impact on you and that you hope the listener here takes away?
Mm, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a thinker. And I can give you a minute too if you need it.
For sure. No, I won't rush that one. That's a good one.
It can be related to the stuff that you've gone through building your business. It can be something that you learned when you were younger from maybe one of your parents. I mean, it can be all over the spectrum.
Yeah, I think for me, it's been to enjoy where I'm at. So not so focused on the future and all of the running parts and everything like that, and worried about money in the future and what all these different sources of revenue and everything like that, but to just leave myself in the moment at times and just enjoy what we have built and what we are currently building, and definitely just kind of relishing in that glory for a little bit while not trying to get too carried away.
It'll never be the same, dude. We talk about that all the time. It's a big one. Point A, point B might be in between the two, but
Yeah.
if you don't enjoy the path on your way to your goal, then what was the point in living in the first place? That's
Yeah.
that's a good one, dude. Help me? Who's the quote?
Christopher McCandless.
Okay, Christopher McCandless quote is happiness is only real when shared. So that's probably mine. Because you can do a lot of stuff personally. I was a guy back in college. I went like crazy as soon as I left home. Did a lot of partying, did a lot of goofy stuff. Lived my life very selfishly, and I found a lot of value in not just like sharing the experience, which is kind of one of our like slogans of the company, addicted to sharing the experience through social media, through our charters, but having things to lose is also like really a big deal because that means you're a vulnerable person, but that also means you're like willing to give value. So I've got like Blaine right here. Blaine has all the power in the world to completely screw me over. I have an amazing wife. I have a lovely daughter. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I can go catch a great white shark by myself. I can go catch a tuna, but it won't mean as much as it could if I do it with this guy right here, who I have built so much with, and I have such a great friendship with, like family, or getting to take my daughter first time fishing, or getting to share something with my wife, even if it's not what I do for a job. So um, I've had to learn sharing and learning doing things for other people, and that's where like true happiness comes from. So that's definitely mine.
Blaine, Dylan, thank you for taking the time here. This was fantastic. I really enjoyed this conversation. Where can my audience find you guys?
Coastal Worldwide, man. Coastal Worldwide on everything. If you just throw it into Google, you can find our TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can find our website, coastal-worldwide.com if you want trips. We have apparel on the website. We do a drop shipping of all the products that we like and trust. So, yeah, Coastal Worldwide, give it a Google. Everything will pop up. And if it doesn't, should do better about our SEO work.
All right, good deal. I'll see you guys.